All right, we're live.
Welcome to the Reseller Roundtable. It's Brian, aka Texas Treasures, and we have Scott, Dumpster Diver Dad, and Alton, Addicted to Hustle, joining y'all again this Thursday night. Hope everybody's trying to stay warm out there. Tonight, our topic we will be discussing is inventory systems. Um, it's not the sexiest topic, I don't think necessarily, but it is one of those things that has a massive impact on your business. Um, and I think if we look at it from a macro perspective, when you get into reselling, like different people find themselves reselling for different reasons, but most people, including myself, when you first start, you got items, they might be in a pile in the corner. Maybe they graduate to shelves, and before you know it, like that's very manageable when you have 100 items or less. But as your inventory grows, what's going to happen is you're going to spend a lot of time trying to find these items to ship out when they sell. And one of the worst things that can happen is if you can't find them, you have to cancel a sale on eBay. That's a cardinal sin. So tonight we want to talk about inventory systems, and the three of us we've talked a bit about this. And I think one thing we all agree on is your inventory system is going to depend on what you're selling. As for myself, I have about 6,200 items in my eBay store, and I am 99% plus clothing and shoes. Um, and I recently made a video on my YouTube channel, Texas Treasures, kind of going over the current inventory system that I have. And what I do is I use an SKU system that's numerically based. It starts at number one and it just goes on in infinity. Like currently I'm at 1,492. I did not redo my old inventory system, which was SKU, but also based on boxes. For example, I'd have A103.20, and what that would be box A103, and there would be 0.20 would be like maybe a pair of jeans in there, and that system was okay, and I used that for several years. But I would say occasionally with that system, um, I might not put the right item when I'm listing it in the right box, and it would sell, and then I couldn't find it, and then it becomes a nightmare of trying to locate that item in a different box, going back to eBay, trying to figure out when I listed it, wasting a lot of time. So recently, and I'll give credit to Chris, his YouTube channel's Daily Refinement. He came up with this system, and what it currently is, I use the big metal husky shelves that you'll find at Home Depot. Like I'm using the 90-inch 5-tier shelf, and I'm using a what we call a long skinny box. It's 30 inches long, about 8 inches wide, about 8 inches high, and I'm also using a 10 by 13-inch clear poly bag that zips. Um, and so when I'm listing an item, like say it's a pair of jeans, those jeans go in that clear poly bag. I put the SKU sticker, and you can print these out, or I just bought mine on Amazon. And by the way, I have links on that. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can find the video on inventory system. There's links if you're looking for this. Some people will ask me. Um, and then it's like a file cabinet. Then it goes to the very back, and I just fill those up, and then I start a new box. And the beauty is when I sell an item in the morning and I go to pull them, it's real quick and easy to find these. So I can pull them really quickly. And over time, these boxes will kind of have gaps in them. And maybe once a month, I will go and consolidate. And I will just, like, if a box is half empty, I will push them all the way back, and I'll go to the next box and just keep those numbers, and I will consolidate. It's easier to see than to explain. But basically, like if you're 1 through 100 and some of those numbers get pulled, well, the number before and the number after it will consolidate, if that makes any sense. So anyway, that's the inventory system I'm currently working. I will say I have not lost any items since I've switched to that system. I'm able to ship faster, and those are all benefits because the more time you save, the more items I'm able to list, and ultimately the more money I'll be able to make. So, what about you guys? What are y'all thinking about inventory systems?
First of all, I've been cleaning up my office and starting to get organized. So before I wasn't organized at all. I have two different places. Well, actually three if you count the garage for the hard goods. But I have the loft, the office, and then the garage. So I've been trying to organize and get everything situated before I start with the numerical system, because I do like your system, Brian. I like. I have been on the ground looking for stuff because I keep clothes in a certain area and I keep hard goods in a different area. So definitely, you lose time, and that's time I could be listing. So I've been taking this to heart lately and watching you and watching everybody in the different groups and everything else like that. So I know me and Alton have been talking about getting rid of, ways to get rid of inventory, different ways to sell it. And I think that's part of my plan too. Sort of, it's a new year, start fresh,
Yep.
Get organized, which a lot of people aren't. I've seen, me included, which I'm probably one of the worst, but I see, different everywhere things are set, and then, they pull it on YouTube or whatever. And it looks like a nightmare, and I've lived that nightmare a couple times. Luckily, I have not had to cancel any orders. I did during Christmas time. I did send out the wrong item, and then they got switched, but that was a shipping issue. That wasn't inventory issue. But because I have them in a general area, it's the time I'm wasting finding that item that's killing my business right now. And I don't know if other people out there are in the same boat as me and feel my pain, but it's inspiring watching your video today on your YouTube channel, Brian. And I've seen that system at work. So that's my thoughts. Just off the top of my head, I have a couple more, but I'll let Alton talk.
Well, yeah, you're good, man. No, I like Brian's. It really does boil down to what you're selling, right? So, and I think if you know the different platforms you're selling on, maybe each one of them has a different way that works for you to store those items, right? So, like, I'll just take me for instance. I have this one metal rack right here in the office where I want to do Whatnot live auctions, right? So these items need to be readily available. So when I fill up the shelf, I'm ready to do a live, right? So I kind of have an inventory system that is always flowing right here. But now I have the bookshelves against the wall that are like video games, books. I have different ones for each. Now, maybe I could be better about labeling the shelf, like an ID tag of what shelf they're on, maybe get those a little more in depth. But I'm really consolidating the books down to, unless they're like a really, really top percent seller, I'm not dealing with a lot of books. Now, the one thing I was telling Scott is one of the options for that, if you're worried about downsizing your inventory, sell back your books, like .com, like get something for it, even if it means taking a small loss. You don't have to do something, but never want someone just to take a loss if they can't afford it. That's the first thing. But to me, my space is more valuable than the item waiting for it to sell right now. So I'm starting the year fresh with old inventory. I don't want old inventory. I want the new stuff that I think will do well. And the inventory system is I'm going to implement part of what Brian's doing and try to see if I can convert it to maybe using the video game systems that way, like the way to do video games. Like, is there a way that we could, Brian, to get a smaller version of that with a tall bag so I can flip through the bags and I can pull it out without having to find the title? Because I feel like I'm almost blind when I see a bunch of this row of video games. I'm like, which one is this? Which one is it? Which one is it? It's better to see a number and go, oh, it's that one. Because you could have 14 of the same game, but they're all in different conditions or whatever. So, like, I feel like it's important to sell the exact one that you listed.
And with the older inventory, and I think I had more problems selling stuff on multiple platforms where I sold something on Amazon and then had it listed on eBay too. That sort of messed me up too, but I'll have to do a better job of that. But looking at going forward, printing out labels, I think for video games, books, and everything else, I think numbering them, I think is a great idea. I think I'll put out the Dymo and print out the labels, and because I already have the labels,
Right.
so I can definitely just do that. Going forward, I'm going to be more picky in my inventory too. I think Brian was talking about that earlier. I know you were talking about that, Alton, being, when you're out there sourcing and you're looking through all this stuff, you have to be more picky. So,
well, I mean, if you know what you're going to do with it, right? So, I mean, for me, it's almost like I got 3 different inventory systems for the platforms that I'm going to be using, and it's just how my brain operates. Like, I don't want to cross list, and that it would bring me, say, a percentage more sales, but I don't have to stress about, oh, did I cross sell that? Or, there's a lot of peace that goes with, hey, when I sell it on this platform, I go to that area, I pull it from that Amazon bin or whatever, or eBay. Like, I have a tub in another room. I got the traditional bins with, like, I label them as simple as E1, E2, E3. They're all the exact same bins, clear see-through, but I know that's eBay bin 1, eBay bin 2. Like, that's just a simple system for me. It works for some of the stuff, like plush animals, things like that, things that are big enough that I can readily identify. But would I want to store like a bunch of crap in one of these boxes and have to dig through it? No. So I'm really downsizing what I want to do with that. So
I think that's where we were going, is being more picky in that aspect of it. So if I misspoke, I'm sorry, but I think Brian's definitely onto a system. I know you have about 6,000 items, and I know with bigger inventories, I know you're trying to grow, and you're listing 30, 31 a day. I think I saw in your last post, and that's massive growth. So you got to keep track of that inventory, and you have to have a system for that for sure.
Well, I think you could definitely do this system with video games. The key is to find, the box, and you can go on Uline. Uline has so many boxes, and try to figure out what size box, like a long skinny box like that would fit for video games. And I think that would be amazing. And I don't know, I don't know if you'd want to put the sticker right on it, or maybe get a small clear poly bag to put it in. I'm not sure.
I was thinking the poly bag, so kind of like what I see with your clothes, where it's just above, even if it's an inch or two above that game, where you can kind of thumb through the numbers and you can see the number without having to actually look down into the game. And I feel like you could probably get a lot more on your shelf, deep wise, than you would trying to just traditionally use a bookshelf or things like that. So it might be an optimal way to, when you niche down, Scott, or even myself, as we both love video games and they sell well, to have that inventory system. So we might be adopting a different version of what you're doing. So that's pretty awesome to see how it's going to grow.
Now, Brian, you said that you're not losing any items, right? But what if you misplace one? Like if you can't find one in your boxes, what's your next step? What do you do for that?
I think there's an easy workaround. Basically the same thing I do on my old inventory system. What I go is into my eBay active listings, and then I sort them by date. And then I pull up the order, because when you pull up an order that's sold on eBay, in the top right-hand corner, it'll show you the date you listed it. So with that date, you then go to your eBay active listings and you sort them by date, oldest to newest or newest to oldest. And then you go to that date and you'll find the other SKUs that are on that same date. And then it should be in that general area. Under my old system, I would write down a couple of boxes that could be in, and probably 80% of the time I would find it that way. But if it was with a new SKU system, well, you could at least say, hey, that day I was doing 1,300 to 1,340. So I could at least have an area to go look for. And that, I would assume that you'd be able to find it that way. I'm just trying to think how that could even slip through the cracks. I guess maybe you could just not put the sticker on it and put it in the box. I guess that's
or not
possible.
Put the SKU and eBay label, I guess.
Yeah, but that should find it. I would say probably 90% of the time plus. So
Mm-hmm.
if it happens, I'll let you know. It might happen.
Well,
eventually.
I just thought of that just because if you have 6,000 pair of jeans, let's say, just just to say for argument's sake, they all look the same, So one jean to the next might be a little darker or whatever, but
so what I do, like, I'm a big proponent of habits and routines. Like I lead the book study and Chris and Tech and Sports group, and we're redoing Atomic Habits, which we've done before. And like, so for me, like when I'm listing, I do everything the same way. Like I take my pictures. If it's clothing, I do my measurements. I put them on this chair beside me, and then I'm moving left to right. So I'm pulling it up. I'm selling similar. Once I hit the list button, that is my cue. When I hit the list, well, I'm sorry. All right. I do the listing, right? I hit list. I fold up the jeans or whatever the clothing is. I put it in the poly bag. And actually, I'm doing this wrong. All right. So I hit list because there's usually a couple seconds delay. I then fold it up, put it in the poly bag, and then as soon as it goes in the poly bag, I have my SKO stickers right here, and the sticker goes on. So it's all like muscle memory at this point because I've done 1,491 already. And so because it's muscle memory, it's like almost impossible to mess up. I'm not doing a good job explaining that. When I first started, I had to really think about it because it was a new system. But once you develop a habit, and that's another benefit of niching down and selling the same things. Like if I was selling, like Craig was talking about, if I sold a VCR, like that's a totally different process. And then if I sold a plush, and if I sold a video game, and then I sold a pair of jeans, I couldn't get these habits and these systems down, and I wouldn't be as efficient. So that's another advantage of niching down, because this is a habit. Because how I list all my jeans is the same. When I list all my shoes, it's pretty much the same. With the shoes, I clean them. I have a rolling cart that holds, I think, 40 pairs of shoes. I photograph them. They go on the cart. The cart rolls over here. Same thing. I list them. And the beauty about this system is the shoes will also fit inverted like a puzzle piece into that poly bag, and that sticker also goes onto it, and it fits in the same box that my jeans and other clothes fit in. So I know I kind of rambled there, but
no, that's great.
So I think what it boils down to is, as you're growing with that, it's just a matter of having the same exact process to form that memory. Like for me, like me and Scott, I think we're having to develop those processes. But before we can do that, we have to organize what we actually want to do. And I think we're both slowly finding it. We're really assessing 2022 as a find who we are as sellers. Like, yes, we're both really good at reselling, but maybe now it's more of less focus, like kind of like Brian's mentioning, niching down and seeing if that really can turn a big difference in our business and our knowledge of those platforms, for one, and two, of the inventory that we're selling. So I think being smart with our management and time, it all boils down to that, right? So you're saving time by having a great inventory system. Right now, technically, I have a great inventory system. Technically, it works for me, but not every inventory system works for everyone's platform based off what they're selling. So, like I feel like everyone has questions they could ask any of us and say we're all different. So we have different terms of the way we look at it. So if anyone needs help with that, that's exactly what we would do.
I like what you said. We're all great resellers, and we all have our own way, and we all have our own way of doing things.
Yep.
And I don't know, I'm not here to say one way's wrong or right, but I like learning from different people, and especially people that know more than me. So it's definitely inspiring to see different systems, because I would never have thought to go 1 to 1 million or whatever in an inventory system.
I don't know that my brain would want to go that high visually to have to hunt that many numbers, but I think Brian's got it down to maybe even 10,000 or even honestly at 9,999, whatever that the 4 digit is. 4 digits is real easy to see and hard to mess up. So I think that's how you can probably niche it down even more. A1 through 9,999, B1 through. That's a lot of inventory. So
yeah, that's a pretty good amount.
So maybe one day we're gonna be the big video game reseller.
Tech and Sports, kind of like the guru of our Facebook group. He's gonna be pushing. His goal is to hit 50,000 items in his store this year. So there are stores out there that do that big inventory.
There's no wrong way to do it, but it's just what's more efficient for you guys,
right?
So,
well, and that's what I don't know. I'm not saying that. I think I could say there are some wrong ways. I see Clay in the chat. Clay, you want to talk about your suitcase?
No, Clay,
his inventory
Clay right here.
I'm giving him a hard time. He messaged me today. We've all sent the wrong thing, or most. I know I've sent the wrong thing before.
Well, I just said I did. So
yeah, I think as a seller, you have that experience of, oh crap, I know I sent the wrong thing. And if you ever had it sitting on your mind and go, did I send the wrong thing? Let's hope not. And then literally they say, I got the wrong item. And you're like, man, God, I can't believe I did that. So you do what you can to make it right. But at some point, you're probably just out that item. Like I've done that before. And I shipped the wrong video game once because my inventory, kind of like what Brian was talking about, a long time ago, I did one. I had two versions of a game. I had stuck them side by side. I didn't have them numbered. So I saw the video title for the game. I grabbed the wrong version. Like one was like the greatest hits version or whatever, like the best of whatever. They wanted the original one. I grabbed the wrong one. Like, this is the wrong one. It wasn't worth for me to request and pay to send it back. I'll just send it out to you in the mail. Don't worry about it. Just keep both of them. So it wasn't worth it. So you can save yourself a lot of money by getting it right the first time.
And those messages are heart-wrenching. You're like, oh crap.
Yep.
I hate when I make mistakes like that. So
well, and the truth is we're all humans, so we're all going to make some mistakes, but we want to obviously to limit those, because if you get too many defects, you send too many of the wrong ones, then you're going to be paying a 5% fee on eBay, and you could be putting your eBay account in jeopardy of being restricted or even closed. And the truth is, your eBay account, and this could be a topic for another show maybe, your eBay account is worth as much as you want to put into it. It's potentially worth millions of dollars or hundreds or thousands, but it's very valuable in protecting the health of your eBay account. Is probably the most important thing you can do as a reseller. And go ahead.
eBay is the OG of the reselling platforms. It was before Amazon even. So they know everything. So I messaged eBay today and tried to get a limit increase because I'm hitting the 1,000 listings right now, and I want to go up to the next level. And they're like, we're having a problem, because I tried the automatic one online and it didn't go through. So I did the chat, and I I work in Sacramento. I live in Elk Grove. I go to different places when I'm outsourcing for different things, and sometimes I drop packages off at different places. And they had me shipping stuff at different locations. The zip codes were coming up, and that red flagged my account. So to say they're not watching everything, they're watching everything. So, and it's all in the same area. It's all in Sacramento. But they saw me, from my zip code, and then they saw me from South Sac zip code, and then they saw me from, wherever down in West Sac or whatever. So
were they flagging you as a drop shipper? Because
I think so. I think so.
We had someone in the group that she didn't understand why her sales had dropped and her traffic had dropped so much, and she called eBay, and they figured out exactly what you're talking about. That because she traveled a lot for her day job, that she was dropping off packages at different zip codes that weren't her home zip code. And eBay had flagged her as a drop shipper and had really throttled her traffic.
Right.
Well, and luckily, and I'm going to say luckily, knock on wood, whatever. I have for the longest time with Amazon, eBay, I I frequent 2 zip codes pretty much every day. Like I
Mhm.
go from here to my work, which is an hour and a half away, depending on traffic. So I typically have 90% of my packages go out in a different zip code than I actually have printed the label. Could that be a problem? It could potentially be a problem, but I guess that's where we talked about where you befriend the postal service,
Mhm.
because if they start giving kickback and go, hey, we don't accept from this zip code, they're going to have problems, and then it trickles down the line. But I've never had that problem, and I'm going to keep praying I never have that problem because of the
Yep.
convenience.
It took me about an hour to get it straightened out with somebody on the
You know,
chat. 3 different people kept on
Well,
trying to go through. So
I will say if eventually you probably will have that problem. I mean, it could go a long time. Hopefully you don't, but
I'm going to be more
because
careful of where I drop off things now. I'm gonna.
well, I think for me, I think the one thing, if when I talk about it, is maybe I'm not flagged for it because of the availability of this post office in our town is so minuscule. I'm telling you, like they're open for very few hours in each day. They have a lunch during that day, and then they're not even open on the weekends for drop off. So like on Saturdays, if I wanted to ship it off, I have to go outside of town to the one that's open till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's still not a big window. And I know a lot of them are more open until 5 o'clock or whatever.
Mhm.
So at least the one I go to here in the city, it's 8 to 5. Like it's literally there every day, Monday through Saturday. So that's good for me. That's where I drop off 90% of my packages. So it works. So have y'all guys prepared your sell of the week or find of the week?
I have.
I've also
Uh-oh. I think mine, actually, believe it or not, I mean, we've had a few eBay sales, but my sale of the week is not coming from eBay. It's coming from Amazon.
You gonna go first? Who wants to go first?
Let me see here. Let me just go ahead and share mine real quick.
Okay.
I already have it pulled up. And there we go. So I actually bought this at the Goodwill for 69 cents.
I can't do those.
Yeah, so I found a bunch of them, and I know PlayStation 2, Sly Cooper, and the Thievius Raccoonus. So, right, PlayStation 2, now considered a vintage game. Clean disc, full with booklet, everything. And I ended up selling it for $33.99. Got the $3.99 shipping credit. It shipped for actually less than, it was like $3.28 or something to ship it out through the Amazon label system. So that was a good hit for me. So I enjoyed that one. I was like, that's a heck of a steal.
That's nice.
nice. I like it.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Who's up next?
I'll go. Let me get it on my screen.
We're moving right along, ain't we?
Yeah,
We're
nice.
getting this nice flow, man. Like,
Oops.
I'm enjoying that.
I'm
You're
good with
enjoying
that
the nice flow.
because I haven't had dinner and I'm ready to go eat. So
It's only 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
it's,
It's
7:30 here.
8:30 here. So
Uh,
and I think that's the beauty of this, guys. We're all across. We're making that time for each other. Where we talk about we don't have much time for YouTube, but we make the time where we're all growing together. We're trying to help people just learn from either our mistakes or our profits, right? So like, there's lessons in each. So
Yeah.
I'm just glad to share it with everybody.
I wish there was a way to know, like obviously this is going out on as a podcast, Spotify and other places where you can find us. By the way, rate us 5 stars.
Yes,
Spotify
please.
does ratings, but I wish there was a way. Well, I guess that is the way, but I would maybe that's something we talk about behind the scenes, but like to get feedback from listeners, maybe questions, a Google Voice number or something where we can maybe answer questions.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah,
Yep.
we can look into that. Maybe to do like a call-in voicemail or it's like a voice answering machine or something. Just ask your question so we can listen to it
That's right.
live and things like that. That'd be kind of cool to see if I can pull something like that off for the live.
All right.
All right, Scott.
My solo of the week is a camera. So I sold this
Ooh.
Canon
Ooh.
Rebel T5, which is an older one.
Nice.
$275, and then shipping on there was the $19.99. So there you go. And then I did have a discount on there, so I think I pulled it out for like $225. So it's my sell of the week, nice and easy. I did sell a video game on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
Where did you source that camera at, Scott?
That was actually out of a garage sale.
Nice. Do you remember how much you paid for it?
I did pay up for it. It was a bunch of them, and it was like $50 for lenses and stuff like that. It did take a day and a half when listed to sell. So,
got you.
Nice.
And then
nice.
Yeah, some nice sales on Amazon. But let me see here if I can pull up the video game. There's Manhunter.
Yep.
That sold on the PS2. You're talking about vintage. There was a VHS tapes, but and then the cleaner there. Let's see. Yeah, Mario Party, $80.
Ooh.
It's going, and it went up since then. So
Holy cow.
knew you could buy it for $183, but it's gone up a little bit from there. But Mario Party 8. So if you come across that on the Wii, you can definitely sell that. This had no manual, just the case and the disc. So no manuals, no artwork or anything else like that. So
hey, that's still a heck of a deal. All right, let me.
Nice.
Got that one.
All right, I guess I'll share mine. So
Let me add you to the stream here.
As I was mentioning, I'm planning on niching down to jeans and shoes, and this sells a pair of On Cloud Ultra running shoes, men's size 11. These sold the same day, actually within hours of listing, and I took an offer with shipping. These sold for $104.99, and if On Cloud, and this it kind of looks like an OC. These are Swiss engineered, and these shoes have a phenomenal sell-through rate. Like I would put this as a gold or platinum tier shoe model. It's definitely a bolo to look out for. And it's always nice to sell a pair of shoes for over $100 on eBay.
Can I see that logo again?
Yeah.
Okay, I see it now. It's the O with the little mark.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah,
I like that.
And you'll see the little Swiss flag right there.
Oh, that's right.
On the back.
Yep.
That's actually a really nice looking shoe, though.
Yeah, and by the way, I did use photo room on these to get that pure white background. Because here's what I'm shooting on, which isn't good. I actually ordered a new light box for shoes. It's a 32 by 32 by 32. But that's neither here nor there. But On Cloud, definitely a good shoe brand to be on the lookout for.
That's a heck of, man. We talked about our storage stuff. We talked about our sales, and you gave a bolo, man. This is a heck of a show today.
Bolo.
Well, guys,
what day did that sell?
That sold within the past week. Let's see. That sold on. I think. Well, I just shipped it out this morning, so it sold yesterday. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mine sold yesterday too. Maybe sales are picking up.
I hope so. I do know, like we mentioned this. I do what sold videos on my YouTube channel, and this past week I had more shoes than normal in that top 10, and I don't even source a lot of shoes currently, even though that's about to be changing starting next week. I don't know. That's a whole nother topic, but man, I love selling shoes. That's probably my favorite thing to resell, and part of me almost wants to go all shoes. But jeans, I do well in also. So jeans and shoes, I love it.
Oh man, well,
Find those vintage Levi's.
Heck yeah, man! You get
I like the showing us the tag and everything else on your other video too. That was really good. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
A lot of people don't know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a real quick on that. If you didn't catch that one, if it's made in the USA, if it's got like a paper type of tag, it's probably vintage, and there are good resources for identifying vintage Levi's, but made in the USA and or a paper tag. And the more you do it, you can almost just like I can now tell pretty much by just looking at the Levi tag on the back of the jeans.
Right.
So yeah, there's lots of
And you
vintage
said
Levi's out there.
Just a off note, real quick. You said in that video about the code. Do you want to go over that real quick?
Yeah, it's hard to do without seeing it, but like on those paper tags, there is a section, and I can't describe it without the picture, but it'll have like 0496, and that is actually the date code. Those will be made in April of 96. And you can tell by the color of those. A lot of them will look like a bat wing that's either red or black for a lot of the 80s and 90s. And that in combination with that code can tell you when it was made. And there's actually even a factory code on there that will tell you the actual factory that it was manufactured in. So there's a lot of information on those Levi's tags.
Thank you.
I mean, somebody could like if I could get an unlimited supply of Levi's, I mean, that would be it. And there are sellers that do this, that they sell nothing but Levi's. And I guess one last thing, this has not, I see Clay messaging. So let me just real quickly tell you, we should be done by 40 minutes, that Clay messaged me because he had a customer that Clay sent the wrong briefcase to. And this guy was actually using feedback extortion. The customer told Clay that he wanted a full refund, and if he gave him a full refund without having to return the briefcase, he would get 5 stars. If he had to return the briefcase, he would get he said 1 star, or negative feedback was what he was saying. And here's a little side tip. Anytime someone does that to you, that is feedback extortion, and that violates eBay's policy. So if they do that, all you have to do is contact eBay, and they will remove that negative feedback. That's a slam dunk, easy thing to get removed. And like I told Clay, and this could be another episode too. I'm just brainstorming here, guys. With returns, that becomes a very emotional thing with a lot of people. But you got to treat it just as part of business. Don't treat it emotionally. If they do a false INAD, you can get that removed. We could talk about that another time. But yeah, just take the return. And if Clay, if he gives you a negative review, just contact eBay. They'll take it away. Yep.
Absolutely. All right, fellas. Well, that was a fun topic tonight. Yeah, get your thing back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you do that. I mean,
yes, sir.
And I mean, you can figure out a way to get him the right one. I mean, you want to offer him a solution, but like, you know, if he refuses the solution, I mean, yeah, you're gonna get the refund, but you're gonna get your item back.
Well, I just I always try to get the item back just because, like, a couple little items, they never shipped it back from Christmas, so I'm gonna get that money back and get the. I don't have a return. I'll take that return off. So
there you go.
Oh, there is. I was looking at this the other day. It could be another topic. There's so much to eBay. God, I love eBay.
Yeah.
That when you look under your returns on eBay, you can actually look at your closed returns. And I did this for the first time in a while earlier this week, and I saw a lot of returns were closed that were returns in progress, but the customer never returned the item. And I do 60-day free returns. And part of the reason I do that is psychologically, when somebody thinks they have 60 days, I'll get to it, and then they forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't return it within the first couple of days or the first week, they're probably not going to return it. And I had a lot of returns that were closed. The money was released to me. So if you're not offering free returns, charge for shipping, offer free returns 30 or 60 days, get that top rated seller status, and it's going to work out in your advantage.
All right. Well, fellas, first, Scott, are you doing any more lives this week under your whatnot?
Yeah, I have an auction going on tomorrow at 4 o'clock Pacific time. So that'd be 7 o'clock your time, Alton. And I think Brian is at 5. 5 or 6. Yeah, 6.
6 o'clock.
Yep, 6 o'clock Central. So yeah, at 4 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a whatnot auction. So follow me on there, Triple D. I am going to be releasing hopefully a video this week of my dumpster diving find. I found an office chair that I pulled out of Staples. So hopefully you'll be seeing that soon on my channel.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. So it'll be coming up. And yeah, that's about all I have going on this week.
Real quick follow up. Is that video going to be edited, Scott?
It is going to be edited. Thanks so much. He's working on it now and working on a new intro for me too. So
awesome.
That'll be cool.
Now, did he make the intro for you, Brian?
Yeah. I
like
guess we'll
intro.
just tell the audience that I shared my video editor with Scott because he works part-time with me, and I guess he'll be working part-time with Scott. He does a good job, a lot better than I could do. My editing skills are horrible. He's definitely improved the quality of my videos. So
it takes one thing off my plate. So and probably your plate.
Sure.
And another thing I think to help with his auctions, Scott is going to be getting him a daylight bulb for this office so he can do some fun lighting and stuff. So it's going to be cool to see the difference. So
doing some vintage hats. So yeah, I'll Triple D, and I know Alton has had an auction yesterday. I don't know if you have any more coming up, but
hopefully, well, we have storms, so I was actually going to go out sourcing today, but inclement weather and things just kind of I'll wait. I'll take the weekend off. I'm going to enjoy the kind of the snow day, like the whatever, and just enjoy it, and then hit it hard on Monday. So just enjoy the weekend. So I guess, guys, until Thursday at 8 o'clock, we will do this again. Maybe we'll have a fun topic. Maybe we'll share. Brian did suggest we share the whatnot as a topic one night. What are the benefits of selling multiple platforms?
And y'all can help
how
me
to leverage it.
Y'all can help me get my account verified.
Yeah, we had to work on that. So, all right, guys. Well, until next Thursday at 8 o'clock, I will see y'all again.
All right, later, guys.
All right, guys.
Bye.